Hey guys, what's up? My name's Vic Taylor and welcome to episode 48 of my Request Anything in Black Ops series. Today I'm going to be running with I Am Scienceable's loadout, which is the HK21 with extended mags, and then either Hardened Pro or Sleight of Hand Pro. I chose Sleight of Hand Pro and I end the game 38-8. I do hope you enjoyed. For today's video, I'm going to be doing another one of these deep commentaries. I did another one a couple of days ago, where I discussed my basic views and opinions on the government, censorship and war. That was really well received. I really enjoyed the discussions that I created out of that I had with you guys, because interaction is just the number one thing on YouTube for me, so I wanted to do another one. So before we start off, the opinions that I express in this video are mine alone. I'm not talking for anyone else. If you are offended by them, then I do apologise. I do not mean to offend you. I do not mean to do anything bad to you at all, because these are not facts that I am expressing, these are my opinions. Just because I believe in something, even if I believe in it really, really strongly, it is not fact. It is merely my opinion, and it is not right merely because I believe it. So if you have something you want to say, if you agree, disagree, even if you're completely neutral, please say in the comments down below, and please be polite. I mean, do not insult someone else's views or opinions, whether that be mine or another one of my subscribers, just because you think they're wrong. Discuss this in an adult manner, and I'm sure you will all be fine. Thank you. So the key of what I'm going to be discussing is actually the whole kind of questionability. You know what I'm saying right here. Just because I can't pronounce the fucking word doesn't make it any more or less clear. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that word. You know what I mean. But the whole thing around violence and murder, whether it has a place in the world, whether it is good, bad, whether it can actually solve your problems in the long run or even in the short run. And I'm discussing this because it's another place in society where I hold quite an unpopular opinion. Because to be honest, if you hold a popular opinion, that's not really something that you should be commentating about for an entire commentary and expecting people to listen to, because it'll be boring. If everyone has that opinion, it'll be boring. It's like if someone talks about hating Justin Bieber for a whole video. That's not going to be entertaining, I don't really think, because everyone's heard it before. But my view on violence, let's just get that out of the way and then I will discuss it in more detail. I believe quite strongly that violence has its place in the world, and it can solve your problems. Obviously, it depends on the situation you're in. For instance, a 10-year-old hitting another 10-year-old in the playground. That won't solve the 10-year-old's problems. It will make the kid go away, it will help you in the short term, but for the long term, the kid will probably get in trouble. I know that I got in quite a few fights when I was 10 years old and around that age, and for the majority of the times, it never worked out for me. I can remember one specific time that it worked out, but that made me have to lie through my teeth to basically every adult that was around me at the time, which I'm sure, you can see the point of, because whoever tells the complete truth to the teachers 100% of the time. But for the long run, if you're a kid, then it is not going to work for you. The reason that it's not going to work for you is because if you're not in a position of power over the person that you are being violent towards, then you have less of a chance of winning. And it sounds really bad, like you should only be the oppressor in these situations, the aggressor. But to be honest, that is fact in everywhere of life, whether it be in the playground, whether it be outside a club when you're fighting over a girl, or whether it be an actual war. You always want to be in the strongest position to be able to either defend yourself or be aggressive towards someone else. And, I know that I am putting my opinions in a quite attractive way, but I'm trying to put them in a way so that you guys will be able to relate to them and I guess understand them. And, I'm not going to be putting them in a negative light, am I? To be perfectly logical and honest to you. But therefore, violence, I believe, has its place. I mean, sometimes there are things in the world that you can't fix with words, whether that be fighting over a girl or in a war. And I don't really think that anyone has the right to say one is more important than the other, because importance is different things to different people, just like life is. You can't say that a girl is unimportant to someone just because, that girl isn't important to you. it's the same belief and opinion system that I said in the beginning. Just because I believe something is right doesn't necessarily make it right, and just because something is important to me doesn't mean that. Sorry, let me start that sentence again. Just because something is important to someone else and not to me doesn't make it unimportant to them. And you got what I was saying there. So it's just, respect other people, but sometimes violence has its place because sometimes you have to show that you are capable and able of, holding ground. Sometimes merely talking isn't good enough. Sometimes you have to show that you can dig in your heels, and I'm not putting this across very well. I'm actually both agreeing and disagreeing with what I'm saying right now. I'm agreeing because I strongly believe that if someone insulted me and, talked behind my back or whatever like that, I would fight them. I would get into a physical altercation with them because they should shut up. But I'm also thinking, well, that example that you're using right there isn't a very strong one, and it's not really going to bring people around to your way of thinking. So you draw your own conclusions off of that, but I strongly believe that violence has a time and a place in this society, and I don't really understand the people who say that violence is bad and should never be used. Because sometimes you have to use violence. Let's just say you have to defend yourself at times. Let's not use the physical aggression and everything. Not, you are not the aggressor, you are the defender. Let's just say that. If someone attacked you, would you not defend yourself? And I have just realised that I don't have a very clear opinion on this. That's quite interesting for me, actually. I will have to think more about this because I haven't actually set out what I'm going to say on my opinions before I start these commentaries because I find that if I do that, they become wooden and it doesn't really work at all. But it is quite interesting to me that that will actually come up in my head. So I will actually have to think about this a great deal more. And that's what I love about you guys. You make me think about my own opinions without even doing anything. You haven't even done anything yet. And I've thinking about it, I don't really have any justification, any true justification for thinking that violence has a place in society. I personally don't like the way society does things, but that's an entire different subject. But yes, I will have to think about the justification I have for that opinion, because at times I've been in violent altercations which I'm sure that I could have avoided, but I wanted to get into the fight. That is something that I will have to discuss. So I'm going to cut it off there, and I hope that you guys' opinions will be able to help me in that. Peace.